Well, hey, everybody. It's Tuesday night. It's another one of those primary nights. And I have, like, the most exciting result up on the screen there. If y'all haven't seen, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez kicked Joe Crowley's ass. Seriously kicked his ass. I'm here with...
I'm so excited.
Yes. I'm here with Laura. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. I was telling John, I knew when I saw the CNN piece, like, you know, might be upsetting the top Democrat. They mentioned her my name on CNN in a leading article in the top of Google News. I pretty much knew that it had been decided somewhere along the chain, and I'm just thrilled for Alex. I've been thinking about her all day.
Yeah, that's awesome. So hopefully we'll have her on the program after the win, after she's done the rounds with all the MSM that are going to have to put her on, even though they don't want to.
She can come and tell us the real dirt, which will be great.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And I'm going to have fun going back and screenshotting pictures of Joe's smug face during the debate.
Yeah.
Because he just,
oh, yeah.
There's more than 300 comments on our copy of the video, 12,000 views. And I just appreciate everybody handing Joe Crowley the verbal abuse that you are. Because, yes, that is exactly what you do when faced with a fascist government. You get in their face. So, thank you. Thank you.
And the comments that are negative, they're all like, well, they're all negative in one way, but they're like all pro Alex, like go way to go. Oh my God, she kicked his ass. And it's like, and I think we got well over like 250 before we even had one person say, oh, well, how's she going to pay for it? Or something like that.
Yeah, there's one. How's she going to pay for it again?
How's she going to pay for her ridiculous platform? Or the one yesterday where someone actually said that her inexperience in debating really showed, and that Crowley really showed up how that was done. I'm like,
yeah.
Now, what alternate universe did that happen? Because she handed him his butt, several times during that broadcast. It was beautiful.
She did. Hey, Barbara, Jupiter. Who else is in? You got Babs and William. Hey, William Valentine. Jeffrey Pearson. Good to see you. JJ McCabe. Good to see you. Thank you all. I see you all sharing my vulgar content on Facebook. Vulgar. Horrible words I'm using.
You're not keeping it civil.
I'm not being and my lack of decorum is atrocious.
Yes.
Atrocious. But you know what? I'm not putting kids in cages, and I'm not being a total dick face to humanity. So there you go. Right? I'm not one of the people that put 40 million Americans in poverty. So fuck you, Elaine Cho. I just had to get that out. I just that's the funniest thing though, because she protected her little turtle husband, man.
She did.
Turtle man. You know who wears the pants?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
And the testicles.
She came into that was her dowry. I bring you testicles of man. And Mitch was like, I want you, my precious. Hey, are we berating our public officials enough?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
This is what it takes. So, Facebook sucks. It's really? Yes, it does. F-bombs away. Yes, Jupiter. When fascism comes to your nation, F-bombs are necessary.
Yeah.
Those of you who thought I was maybe a little heavy-handed 2 years ago, nope. I was just ahead of my time. Anyway, it's more about the races. What other races? Who you guys want to talk about? There's lots of stuff going on.
Well, Ben Jealous is winning in Maryland for governor, and those are the two big races that I had my little heart set on today, and was trying to be brave about it because we didn't want California to happen again.
I'm pulling up the New York Times race here so I can find Ben Jealous. There's a governor. Where'd he go? It's still kicking ass. Looks like he has it. That's it, everybody. Alex and Ben, good night. Thank you for joining us. Glad to bring you the news.
My friend was like, "You're going to be on until like 10?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, no." Well, no. But it's just nice to have it known so decisively with no big last-minute shenanigans. Like, oh, this last district, all of a sudden, all went for Crowley, and it tipped the scale.
Right. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that.
They couldn't cheat big enough to save his ass. They just couldn't. So
we had a few of those. Yeah, you're right. They couldn't cheat big. There were some Trump wins that they're calling Trump wins, where he supposedly lent them.
There's bound to be.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Gads Bob.
Egads, Bob.
Wow.
$20. Yay.
Ooh, we're rich. Tell Larry
Good.
because he's freaking out about the money right now. So we just
I know. Guys, we need to pay John next week. Could you chip in and help us do that?
all the money
No,
went to the
you guys
Live View
already
Solo
do.
stuff.
Oh, that's right. But that came. We finally have our modems.
We did. We have our modems, and we spent $100 on Facebook marketing to get people to subscribe and donate, and basically that didn't go well.
Oh no,
So-
that was $100.
Yes.
Oh no. Oh no, you should have done 20 to start with, just to see what it would
Hey,
do.
Larry
God.
picked it.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
You know, I'm just letting you guys know. Thank you
Yeah.
all so much. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We will be doing more. I'm going to just talk about that real quick before we get into other races. But if there's people you want us to track and tell you about and follow, let us know, and we'll find the information. I have all the sheets
What
up
about
here.
Emily Sirota?
I haven't seen a peep.
Well, because that's
about her.
Colorado, so their polls might not be closed or might just be
Yeah,
closed.
but Colorado has mail-in ballots, so we should have some results
Yeah.
quickly. And if anybody knows, would love to know if Emily
Yeah,
did
hey
well.
guys, somebody out there, research Emily Sirota in Colorado.
That's what this is about. We're just going to be live
Yes.
and talk. You guys have to give us the information.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, this is an engagement broadcast. We'll put these guys to work.
yeah, exactly. I was going to tell you about the ice. That's right. Okay, so I've been trying to do a newsletter to tell everybody what we're doing, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. Larry spent a whole bunch of money. We got the USB modems. So now I'm going to bring a rig up to Portland that's going to have camera and microphone and the Live View Solo with our modems, and we're going to hand it off to a crew that is occupying PDX ICE so that we can broadcast live from there and put a camera in their face as they walk in and out of the headquarters and let them know that they're live. Fascism live on air right here, everybody. You know, and this is what we need to do. It is absolutely appropriate to publicly shame human beings that think it's okay for them to be fascists and do what they do to the rest of humanity. That's how we let people know that they've gone too far, right? This is like the step before we all grab whatever we got in the garage and go march to the city hall, right? We're like that close. So if it's a message the government needs to hear, it would be you either start doing what we say, we're just going to burn it down, right? That's how close we are. And I love the fact that we've gotten in the streets. We're getting in these officials' faces. I love the fact that we're calling them out. Whoever it was that released the 1,600 names and addresses, phone numbers of the ICE agents, another way you stop fascism.
WikiLeaks.
It wasn't WikiLeaks. It was somebody else. But
It wasn't?
yeah, I don't think it was WikiLeaks.
Leaked it to WikiLeaks, but I thought they came from them.
Maybe, I don't know. I saw an article about it. But, they couldn't do that in Nazi Germany. So we've got some tools that we can use here to fight fascism that they didn't have back then.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But that's absolutely what we're fighting.
Yeah.
Let's not make a mistake here on it.
Newsflash, Emily Sirota is up 53-47.
She's doing good?
Yeah.
Wow. Woo.
What's the percentage of reporting, William?
Yeah, what's the percentage of reporting
Thank you,
for that?
William Valentine. Thank you, useful people.
Thank you,
'Cause
Bron.
we decided to just do this during my lunch break today at work, so we don't have a whole lot of things prepared.
No, I got 4 songs just to pass the time.
Oh, cool.
And thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Ice, ice, baby. Yeah, yeah. And I'm just gonna say, for the record, I have no idea what Maxine Waters' actual record is in Congress. No clue. I don't know whether she is a top corporate Dem or what. Don't care. I just want to say thank you, Maxine Waters, for being the only politician to have the courage, the guts, the spine, the vagina, really tougher than balls, the vagina to call it what it is and say you absolutely get in the face of your fascist regime overlords when you see them enjoying a meal, right? Or enjoying that freedom that they've taken away from so many others, right? That's exactly what we do. Maxine Waters will be remembered in history as the one politician. Bernie Sanders hasn't even said, yeah, that's the way to go. I am so ashamed of that. I think a lot of these folks have forgotten what it takes to get rid of fascism. You don't do it with hugs. You don't do it with compromise. You don't tolerate fascism because that's how you end up with 6 million dead people. So thank you, Maxine, for having a spine. And I will back your words 100%. And everybody needs to. You're either fighting fascism or you're enabling it. That's it. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's
what it's like what we've been saying that we'll do even for these progressive candidates that we bring in. We're going to be watching them closely, and if they do not, keep to their promises, we will be right in their face. We'll be right in their face on social media. We already have the connections to them. They're
right.
We can. They're there.
And
what are you
I'm laughing at comments. Dwayne Coy, the reason I made that statement was to let you know I don't need to give a fuck about what Maxine has done in the past. I care about her statement right now and the future. Right now, that's what I care about. And I never claimed to be somebody who actually knew any of these politicians. So there. I'm a
Maxine
citizen.
Is unique. Maxine is unique unto herself.
Right. Well, there you go. So
yeah.
And I guess so. What are you doing, Dwayne? What do you do? Just out of curiosity, what do you do?
And welcome, by the way, Dwayne.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen you here before.
Yeah, and what is your stance on these things? Just curious, because I see a lot of people saying it's overstepping. I saw an article that said, I really think this is overstepping it, getting in the faces of our politicians. Now, overstepping it was putting kids in cages. Overstepping it was 40 million Americans poverty. Overstepping it was 20 veterans committing suicide a day. Overstepping it was 7 wars. Overstepping it is the largest military budget in the history of fucking humanity. Those are all oversteps. Getting in the face of your government for being a pile of shit, that's democracy. That's patriotism. That's what my dad didn't do. That's what I didn't do last year or the year before or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Right? That's why we're in the fucking problem we're in right now, is because we sat in our lazy boys instead of getting in the face of our fucking politicians. And now it feels really uncomfortable. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. You know what's going to be uncomfortable? Gas chambers. You know what's going to be uncomfortable? Permanent incarceration for anybody that goes against the fucking government. And that's where we're headed. So feel uncomfortable now, because get used to it. This is what we have to do. It's what we have to do. We're facing that reality. Sorry. And when you have every frickin' German historian and somebody who teaches Nazi history saying, yeah, you guys are there. You're at like level 8 out of 10. Maybe we pull our heads out of our asses and, come on, really, seriously. Anyway, just had to go off. I've been very, very upset about what's going on. It has really freaked me out because this is like a personal nightmare of mine that our country becomes Nazi Germany. It really actually is. So for me, just a little closer to home as a white guy who has absolutely zero connection to Nazi Germany. Okay, let's just go there. Anyway, what else? Other races? Anything else we got to cover? We know there's 2 big wins. Emily Sirota, that's awesome. That was not expected either, to be honest. No.
That's it, and that's at 52% returning.
That's pretty good.
Okay, Dwayne, no, come on. We're not here to talk about Bernie bros. We don't need a troll.
Hey, whatever. The whole original purpose of this place was to engage in conversation. It's just the conversation's kind of broken down.
Yeah, conversation's great. Name calling in chat is not. Yeah. So. That's all.
Shame on Pelosi and Schumer for saying Maxine is too mean. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, and Maxine's not perfect. She has had her issues, and I'm sure a lot of them. But for the most part, she's been probably kind of outspoken and maybe a little embarrassing to the corporate Dems, and that's
great.
Actually, a good thing in my book. So
great.
There you go.
And I for the first time disagree with Bernie, and I'm like, wow, that's weird. That's weird. I'm usually like 100% with him, and I just think he's wrong on this. He's wrong. But that's the great thing. Like everybody's saying in chat, we can all be wrong. It's just, we're fighting for our lives at this point. I hope we can just get down to the core issues. Really.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at 538 to see if there's any like Irma Gerds here, but
No, I mean, that was I was trying to think of this. Anybody in Utah we were following. We had Misty Snow, and then she dropped out.
Cynthia Nixon, is that is that
Oh, yeah.
yeah? Where are we?
She's
That's
running for Senate.
okay.
Or is there's New York has two primaries, but I think that
Yeah, and I didn't even have all the states
I
on
know.
the map here. I didn't realize there's a lot of stuff going on, but it must not be like full. There's a lot of interesting things. Oklahoma. Hey, Oklahoma. Sorry you're on fire.
Oklahoma. Oh, is it on fire again?
Yeah,
Damn it.
Oklahoma's on fire. Got that thing hanging up.
So do you guys know? You guys in chat is because Cynthia was endorsing
Hey, Natalie May.
Alex yesterday.
That's not today. Thank you, guys. That's what we didn't know. We didn't know.
Okay, I saw somewhere today that New York is the only state that has two primaries. When's the other one though? I only had one on my calendar.
Deanna McCombs. Me too. Me too. Wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah, running for governor.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought she was running for Senate, but she's running.
So in Colorado, so wait, is this Colorado? No, it's Oklahoma. My bad. Drew Edmondson won the Democratic primary.
Yeah, Drew.
Congratulations, Drew. I guess.
We don't know Drew.
I don't know. Although,
Wow, we've got 58 people watching. Good
hi,
Lord.
58. I'll be honest. We're not. Listen.
Tens
Just so you don't have any like high expectations. We're not doing much here. There's probably really much more interesting coverage. We're just having a chat with you guys. We're watching chat. Laura and I are just pulling up different screenshots and talking about who's winning what races. But the big news is kind of already there, right? Ocasio-Cortez kicking Joe Crowley's ass, and Ben Jealous looks like he's got the governor nod. So from Dems, that's huge news. If you guys know of anything else, let us know. The New York governor's race isn't today. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. It's confusing. There's a lot of
I
stuff.
didn't think so because I would have heard a big push of that, but I know that she was endorsing people, so that's good.
Yeah. The Libertarian Party had a primary in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
Chris Powell
How'd
won.
they do?
He won with 1,247 votes. That's pretty good. Well, there's 83% reporting, so I did.
Yeah. Brom says this is the best coverage anywhere. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you.
Biased. It's like having your mother say, "Oh, but yes, yours is the best, honey."
It is. But
thank you, family.
We all live in a bubble. This is our
Yes.
bubble of information, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I was thinking about that. Having a conversation with some friends in Longmont, and they live in a bubble too. Longmont, Colorado. And it's interesting because Longmont, Colorado is actually one of the most progressive, if not the most progressive city in the United States. They are insanely progressive. They've done so many things to improve their city. They've got restorative justice going on. It's been going on for almost 20 years. They have a recidivism rate of crime of like 6%. Mike Butler is the chief of police, the chief of public safety, and like 4 other things, fire, water. It's a town of like 100,000. But they kind of live in a bubble there because they're really not aware of just how bad a lot of other cities are, how bad other cops are. Like if I were to pick, there's only one town in America I would go where I would trust the police. That's Longmont, Colorado, because I know the chief of police and I know that he's not a dick. And I know that he wouldn't have racists in his department and he wouldn't allow for abuse. So it's a special place, Longmont, Colorado. If you want a place to escape to where there's sanity, go there. Except it's surrounded by fracking, so it's got a problem. They tried to ban fracking, and they did. And then the city came in and said, well, oil and gas own Colorado, so you can't ban fracking in your own town. Pretty. You miss Sagan, too? We're talking about Carl Sagan? I miss Sagan, too.
No, that's Brom's Hail Sagan. That's like his Hail Satan thing.
Oh.
It's an in joke.
Nice.
He and I know what we're talking about.
Sagan saves.
So William says that the New York state level primary is the 13th, September 13th.
Nice.
So that'll be Cynthia's deal. So Jared Paulus, Alex says that Jared Paulus in Colorado is not good. He will bankrupt the state. Way further left than Bernie.
Well, if he's further left than Bernie, I'm interested to know what that means. He won the nod, though.
Yeah.
You guys don't think that's a good thing? No?
Well, Alex doesn't, but
Interesting. Interesting. Political pundits like Nate Silver. Who is political? who are they? Or are you saying they like Nate Silver? Which way does that mean? Thank you, Jupiter Judy. I appreciate that. Whenever the establishment wins, political pundits say it was obvious. Whenever progressives win, political pundits will say it's because of demographics or establishment was asleep behind the wheel. Yes, of course they will. They'll try to minimize the loss. They'll try to say it was a fluke, right? They'll do whatever. Of course they will. That's their job. They're paid to do that. I don't know if you saw my blasting of CNN the other day, but the story of Antoine Rose, just the latest in body cam footage of an innocent person of color being shot by a cop who should never have been a cop, right? So the most important aspect of that story is that cop had just been sworn in, and he had been fired from other police departments for abuse, for being a dick. Why the fuck was he?
I heard it was like 20 minutes. I mean, like within the hour of being sworn in, this happened.
I know. Why the fuck would you even hire him? Why does that police chief still have a job? Why is that police chief still? But my point is, CNN ran the story. You know how CNN ran the story? In it, it's just a small phrase, but all it said was, officer shoots unarmed black person. Officer had 7 years experience on the force. No mention that it was 7 years where he got his ass fucking fired from multiple departments for being a shithead, and that he never should have been hired again. Then he said, so when you write the narrative, CNN, where it says 7 years experience on the force, people read that and go, well, he was an experienced officer. There must have been something going on there. He couldn't have made that bad of a decision. What a great guy. I'm sorry that black kid died. I'd love to see CNN actually report the truth. Asshole who never should have been fucking hired shoots kid, should go to jail for murder immediately. That should have been a headline. Police chief fired because he never should have hired that cop in the first place. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. But it was not. So I try to explain that's just a small narrative spin, but it's so powerful. So powerful to omit the truth there. You know? It's just so irritating when that happens. Who's running on 100% renewable energy? It's not even.
That's Jared Paulus. Okay, so I'm looking him up. So he is to the left of the centrist incumbent, and I think Alex is probably a little bit more to the more around the centrist incumbents level, because he's talking about that it's a bad thing that he's running on 100% renewable energy. I think that's a laudable thing to run on,
and it's absolutely
even
possible.
If it's not, even if it weren't possible, at least I think that we've proved a lot of things. Possible that people would have thought impossible before. So I don't think that is a bad thing to run on. I would rather have it be that than big corporate.
Please tell me what's not feasible about 100% renewable energy, and I will tell you you're wrong, and I will direct you to the facts about it. I actually know an awful lot about it. So please tell me what's not feasible about it. Because I got lots of things. Some things that were actually invented 5,000 years ago that still do what they're supposed to do today. It's amazing.
Oh my God, EGATS Bob just gave us $100.
Holy cow. Thank you, EGATS
heart attack.
Bob. Jeez.
You might get paid next week after all, John.
Yeah, really. Tell Larry's like, keep it going. And we're really...
Guys, go buy a t-shirt or something.
We're not really talking much about the primaries.
No, absolutely we are. We absolutely are. We're talking about everything around them.
A lot of. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm seeing a lot of results come in. It's just a question of, are these people, like for the Democrats, like uncontested. That's one of the big problems. Are they any good? Right? They're uncontested, but are they any good? And that's, like I'm looking at New York, looking at Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado's a weird state.
And thanks, Alex, for bringing that up. I think Colorado, especially with all the money they're bringing in with cannabis and everything, will probably do fine. But thanks for bringing them up, because I hadn't looked up Jared Paulus, and now I know kind of what you're talking about, and I appreciate that. We've got a bunch of good people.
Yeah. And wait, did I just miss something? Maybe I was being dumb. What did I just miss here?
What?
I mean, I'm always being dumb, but what? Alex Brown says, thanks for clearing it up. I was just asking. What was he just asking about?
He was asking about Jared Polis if that was a bad thing that he was.
Okay.
But pointing out that he's running on 100% renewable energy, even though it's not scientifically possible, but that'd be accurate.
It is, but I think you're right to say that a lot of people aren't going to believe him.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen 100% right away.
No,
but it's a goal. Got to have goals.
You still have people that don't think we have the battery capability to do it, and that's wrong. We have had the battery capability to handle peak hours for almost 3 years. We've had the battery capability to deal with LA at peak hours for a year. We've had Maui completely covered. Australia is in the process of being completely covered. All right. The problem is that mainstream media does not report on renewable energy because that doesn't do anything for GE or the whole fossil fuel industry or any of their other partners. Right. And the truth of the matter is, we were about to have a complete solar economic explosion, and Donald Trump slammed tariffs on solar imports, and that kind of screwed the entire industry, set it back. Right. And so that's one of the big issues. But in terms of technology, Alex, it's all there. It's all there. And Elon Musk is the pioneer that made it possible. Yeah. Whatever you think of him and his policies towards his employees, he made the Powerwall possible. He made the solar panels possible. He made the storage possible. He made the energy transfer possible. He's made that industry what it is. And did the hard work of selling solar with Solar City so it's ready. We just need politicians that give a fuck, right? We just need politicians that actually want to move that are going to make their money off the renewable energy industry and not the fossil fuel industry is what we need.
So Mitt Romney won Utah.
How the fuck does that guy win?
After toning down criticism on Trump.
He is such a lapdog. He's so oozy.
Yeah, well, he's a politician. See, we're replacing these politicians with candidates.
You guys remember that Trump basically insulted the fuck out of just like Romney. Romney was I don't know how. So hey, Utah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
good luck with that. I've heard rumor that Utah has a semi-decent police force. I'd love for anybody to let me know on that. I'm looking for two police forces in the United States of America that aren't piles of shit. So if anybody knows of the second one, I know one. We're trying to gather a list. It's been hard to do. Been trying to do that for years. Mitt Carpetbagger Romney. 47%, man. I don't know how you win being 47%, man. The shit that asshole said. And what's funny is you think about the stuff Mitt said during the primaries and you think about the crap that's come out of the
I know.
It's like,
God, you only had to say one thing?
Yeah. Clinton, the sleazebag that he was, impeached for a blowjob.
Yeah.
Now we have pussy grabber. Romney, 75.9%. That's insane.
Wow. But yeah, I'm just looking on Twitter results for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is Trump's ass kisser.
He is.
He's so remember him sneaking up to Trump thinking he was going to become Secretary of State?
Didn't happen. Him and Ted Cruz, both of them are like the little lap dogs. Trump's favorite little. He loves to piss all over those two, and they enjoy it. Would the Blues Brothers count, John? In terms of what? I've lost it. Where's the Blues Brothers in
Who were? No, I'm looking.
It's Brahm. But I need to know what he was talking about.
Is that the guy who wears magical underwear? Who? What? I don't know. I'm not.
St. Louis ended homelessness permanently in the city.
Really?
That's nice.
How nice.
About that in Randy O.
Let's do that again.
What do they do? Just bus everybody out? That's what Ventura did. That's what other rich places do. We're just gonna pick y'all up, take you somewhere else.
Take you out into the country. It'd be nice out there.
Go on, or like Seattle does with its garbage. We're green here.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. Garbage elsewhere.
Harvester of Sorrow is Mitt Romney. That's a really good Metallica song. If you guys aren't familiar, Harvester of Sorrow. Anyway.
Yes, Phil, a little stab of happiness. I was so excited today, and damn, I've been waiting a while to feel excited about this primary.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Cossey wins, Crowley sucks.
yeah.
Cock, bro. Yep. Yep. You're telling human to stay on subjects? We're all going all over the place here. That's
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slight him for that. Salt Lake City. I'm sorry, you say Salt Lake City they paid for apartments, not St. Louis. Thank you. Okay, not St. Louis, my bad. Salt Lake City, Utah paid for apartments to take care of their homeless.
Nice.
How many homeless people want to live in Salt Lake City? It was like 3? 5? I'm seriously. It's like you're in the middle of Mormon world. It's cold. It's like, we bought 10 apartments. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty
Careful.
Actually,
What does Salt Lake City do to you?
that's really cool, though. I'd like to talk to somebody about that. That, you know, it's good to hear about progressiveness. I only make fun of Utah because I always got tickets there driving back and forth between California and Colorado. So I just give them shit. That's all. But they were always easy on me about it. Just mail in the money. Mail in your money to the man.
And we're quoting Blues Brothers now. So.
Oh, it's all people are guaranteed places, live and paid for by the city because it's cheap than jail and medical bills. Huh? Nice. Cheaper than, right. It's cheaper than jail and
Rob
medical
was saying,
bills. Right.
so the police department, we were looking for another police department that wasn't full of shit.
Right.
And would the Blues Brothers count? I know their police department definitely got into it.
In a fun way. They were back when we thought cops were neat and friendly.
Somebody needs to wake up Marcus. We need to wake up Marcus and tell him Alexandria won.
I know. Well, go whoever's in Slack.
Oh, I'll go ping him.
Go ping him in Slack. Wake his ass up. I'm surprised he didn't stay up for this.
Yeah.
But honestly, Marcus's job is really, it's seasonal a lot. And right now is like their season. And so he's just cranking, dealing with the stuff and football, because the Germans in football. So my guess is Marcus could be nursing like a football, brown bagger or something, or whatever they do in Germany.
Yeah, oh yeah, for the soccer.
Yeah,
World Cup.
the World Cup. The Germans squeaked by, and I'm just learning that apparently that's what they do.
Was that the one against the Swedes?
Yes. Yes. It was the one against the Swedes. They were so mad.
I heard about that. They were really mad.
I caught the very ending.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Chili Love, who are you talking to? Who hurt their ego? Joe? Hi, Chili Love. Hi, Jim Lockett.
So I got Marcus has snooze notification. Send one anyway. Yes.
Of course. Wake his ass up. Wake his ass up. He doesn't need to be here.
Barbara, Marcus, it's in the middle of the night in Marcus land. It's like 4 a.m. So that's where he is.
Germany's 9 hours ahead, everybody.
Yeah.
9 hours ahead of where I am in the West Coast, where we are. Yes. Most of us are there. No sleep for Germans. No sleep for Germans, because we need to talk to them about what to do with our rising fascism problem. Right. There's a lot of very fascinating history around that, and not only what they did. Well, most of what I want to talk to Marcus about later is what Germany did afterwards, because they did a lot of work to make sure that this never repeated, and unfortunately, Americans
reparations.
Yeah, we didn't. Well, what's interesting is that it wasn't until the generation later, 20 years later, that the children of the World War II generation said, "Hey, you guys didn't finish rounding up and punishing all the Nazis. We're going to do that," and they did.
Yeah, let us fix that for you.
So keep that in mind. That as we take over our government, as we boot out the fascists, the warmongers, and the people that have caused irreparable damage to this earth and humanity, older people are going to feel uncomfortable again. And they're going to want to, let's make peace. Everybody needs to, no, let's just forget about it. Let's let them slide. No, that's not how you make sure you don't repeat it. Every one of those fuckers needs to be punished to the fullest fucking extent of the law. Every corporation needs to be liquidated that it was involved in this fascist rise up. Every corporation that put kids in tent cities and fucking cages. Every corporation that said they'd go build a goddamn wall. Exxon needs to be liquidated and turned into a nonprofit that does nothing but spend its vast sums of money, $25 billion in investment money, only $1 billion of that which goes to renewables. All $25 billion should just go right towards fixing the damage they've done to this planet. And all of their fucking executives should spend the rest of their lives cleaning up oil spills. When you do that kind of shit, right? That's progressive. And I guarantee you, when we take over this fucking government, all of the old folks are going to whine about making just let it go. Just let it go. You won, just let it go. No, we do not do that. We do not do that. We need to make sure that it never happens again. So I'm looking forward to talking to Marcus and Bjorn and Katie and Dennis about that, because they, you know, I have a lot of conversations with all of them, but a lot of conversations with Marcus, you know, when we do reviews and stuff, and you know, Laura, you've been in there with some of them, and it's amazing hearing from him how much education German citizens get about just how fucking bad Nazi Germany was. They get a lot of education about that. Mm-hmm. And a lot of education on what to do to make sure it doesn't happen. And that includes basically civics, which was removed, interestingly enough, from our education system in the 70s and replaced with social studies.
Yeah.
Okay? I grew up there.
That's where our knowledge of what our country has really done, although that's been being squelched since the 50s.
Well, maybe so, but you know, my father grew up learning civics in high school. He's a 50s kid,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
So
I never did.
you know, it changed in the 60s with the unrest, right? I got civics as a Boy Scout. I didn't get civics in school. I got it as a Boy Scout. I got some government in Mullen High School, which was a rich white kids Catholic high school. If you were black, you could go there as long as you were a good sports player or had tons of money. But it was basically a rich white kid school that my parents, like, my grandmother actually paid for it, and they sent me there because they expected it to be good. As a joke. But they had government there. They had, like, here's how your government's supposed to work, and we did like a United Nations. So I probably got, in the early 80s, more actual civics than any generation beyond me. I know that for sure. My sister didn't get this much information. And Laura Livengood probably got way more than I don't know. I did. I don't know. Did you get civics in school?
Not really.
No?
Like you said, social studies and no, not really.
Wow.
Everything knowing what I know now, what I received in terms of education about American history. I didn't get much American history. I don't ever remember studying, for instance, the Civil War. I really had when I had to take the SAT and say, God, man, who won the Civil War? Did I ever have that in this class? I mean, I know, but it's like, do I remember it? Why?
Well, what they teach you about this, what I remember being taught about American history, Civil War, is it starts with, we had a war about civil rights, and then they go right from that into Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Because that's really what they want to talk about.
Yes, it was a war about slavery, and Abraham Lincoln stopped it, and he was great, and we were so good for having him as our president.
And done. That's it. Everything was fixed.
That's what I learned. That's what I learned about civics and slavery, you know, and people being wrenched away from, you know, their parents and babies and all that stuff. We have people who say that we aren't like this don't know their American history. We are really like this.
Right.
And we have been our whole history.
Yeah.
Just it's only matters if it's brown people that it happens to. And that's just not right.
Right. I remember a history book in, I want to say 8th grade that actually talked about Pocahontas. And the story was the fucking Disney version. It literally was the Disney version of they were friends, they got together, they fell in love, it was a fun time, everything was great, the Indians loved everyone. I'm like, that, you know, that's, so think about, here's Laura and I, and there's other people. I said, William Valentine, I noticed you said you got U.S. history, but when you have an entire American populace that's been misinformed, and there's a very small fraction that actually realizes it, that's a frightening situation. That's a frightening situation, and it's not. It doesn't have to do with generations or anything. You could be really old and be awake, and you could be really young and be awake. It's just, it's just weird.
So it's interesting when one steps out of one's bubble and follows a hashtag on
Yeah.
Twitter.
What you find?
Because, so this is someone responding to Mitt Romney's win, saying, "This makes my heart very happy. The GOP has tremendous hope to survive Donald Trump when we put this man, our best soldier of optimism, forward as a voice of reason." And that was, so, and he's just as fervent about that as,
Oh my God.
but the hashtag is not populating very fast.
It's not a lot of people on that.
And most of them say things like, "Go away, Mitt Romney."
Oh my gosh. Who else won? Yay. Who's that? Shirley? Shirley won? Shirley. MSNBC is all about Cortez. Are they jumping on it? That's good for them. Good for them. They want the ratings.
No, that's Shirley Vick is saying Ben Jealous won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry, I tried to catch up.
Yay, Ben Jealous. God, that's huge.
Yeah,
And
it is.
Sirota is still 54-46 with 64% in. So yay in Colorado.
Yeah, good for her. Interesting. Jeffrey Pearson says, I remember when the Vietnam War wasn't in history books. Wow.
Yeah.
I can tell you that the Korean War got a paragraph in history books.
Yeah.
There was a Korean War. Go watch the series MASH. It's basically what they said. So I learned.
Jeffrey, keep in mind that most of our history books were probably written while the Vietnam War was still going on.
Yeah.
We
are jumping and hopping. Yay, Lynn.
Yes. Yay.
Rachel Maddow seemed depressed when she had to report.
Oh, sister, woman.
I want to see Rachel Maddow interview Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, I want to see her have to do it. And I want to see Alex just sit there and be like, because, that would just be a great interview.
She'd probably be, no, I shouldn't say.
It would be fun to watch. It would definitely be fun to watch. I would love to hear the hot mic after,
But Rachel probably thinks she's hot.
Yeah. 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 Nah, never go there.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting as the progressive. It's going to be interesting watching mainstream media start to befriend the progressive movement as it gains power, because they'll have no choice. Because as the money,
CNN's sucking up to Alexandria today. It's like,
I know,
wow.
I know, yeah, yes, but as everybody pointed out, or several people pointed out, the CNN article was as kind as CNN is to progressives, right?
Yeah.
Newcomer with not a chance in fucking hell seems to have passion.
And she seems to be, and she could upset this. And he's got his liberal sides too. Right.
Right. The most liberal Joe Crowley has ever been is when he went on the debate and said, "I'm a progressive too." That was it. You don't just get to use the word. It's like putting hot sauce in your purse. It doesn't work that way, Joe. You don't.
God, of our 300 plus comments on that video, I think that's what gets mentioned most. You are not a progressive, Joe. No. Did he just say he was a progressive?
Look,
no.
Lynn Vermont said Crowley already endorsed her. So now it'll be interesting to see how much they pressure her to endorse Pelosi. It'll be interesting.
Oh, no.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I'm just going to say this, Alex, we've had you on the show several times. We know you. Just going to say right now, this is like going to be your I'm going to say Princess Leia, but it's like a Luke Skywalker moment, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't go to the dark side.
Yes.
When they show up with the money, when they show up with the power, when they offer you all that crap that Joe has now, give them this.
Yeah.
And we know you will, because you're an honest person.
Yeah.
We know you will. Thank you.
I'll unfriend you on Facebook, Alex, if you endorse Nancy Pelosi.
Yes.
But of course, they're all infected, but they're all talking like they're assuming Nancy Pelosi's going to win.
Jeff Pearson, I'm not even going to repeat that. Those of you who aren't watching the chat, you're going to have to go look at it. I'm just not going to repeat it. Just not going to say.
God.
And Marcus, I hope Marcus doesn't see that. So I'm going to say.
Yeah. He hasn't woken up yet. Marcus, wake up.
Pelosi will have to dig her up first. Our revolution-backed incumbent Jamie Raskin wins U.S. House. Yay! Great. It's weird to hear that we have incumbents to back.
I know.
Is Wolf doing any of this? Does anybody know if Wolf is doing a CNN thing? I want.
Oh
I
God,
want.
he's probably choking.
Yeah, I want footage of him. Like, remember when he had to announce that Bernie had won states that he was like,
How could this be true?
Bernie has won. He'll have to do the same thing with
Yeah.
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of Irma Gerds out there today, Jupiter
Yeah.
Judy. She will give the establishment. She definitely
The
will.
middle finger. Oh
It's
God, yeah.
what I'm looking forward to. Let me just. I just got to say this. Our government has been under this faux politeness bullshit that was invented in like the 1850s. And somehow all these old fuckers that are like Depression era babies are still trying to maintain this bullshit 1850s politeness. And I'm so glad that we have people moving into government now, younger people with the courage to say, I don't want to be that, fuck that shit, you know, your little politeness. I want our government to be a lot more like Parliament. Go watch I love the way, because people call out each other. No, you're a liar. Oh, you hobknocker. Blah, 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 blah. And they're, you know.
I know Parliament's badass. I like that.
I don't really know what they say, but when you listen to it, it's like they're.
Harumph.
Yeah, they get active. They get all into it. And I could just see Ocasio be like, I call bullshit, or you know, in the middle of the, it's gonna be fun to have some young passion, right? That's more interested in fixing problems than in lining their pocketbooks.
Well, she fired people up.
Yes.
She fired up the Bronx and Queens, and she's got and it's the real people and the mommies with strollers and working guys, and it was
Don Lemon. Wolf's gone. He's crying in a corner. He's in a fetal position.
Yeah. Hobknocker. Yeah, Darcy.
I know it's probably not even a British insult. I don't even. Old girl.
It is now.
I don't. I get all my British terms from watching. What's it called? Call the Midwife.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen that show. I love that show. So. Yes,
They're a little dated.
It is a little dated, but they've moved into the mid 60s, so you know they're getting there. Women's lib. It's interesting.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Yes, we have.
I'm following the New York 14 thing now. So here's someone says, Democratic nominee advocates social justice, aka Marxism. Lol.
Yeah.
Oh, and in response to her tweet, which says, what we desperately need right now are fierce advocates for economic, social, and racial justice.
Oh, the word social's in there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how to pronounce that name. Louisa Shirley wins U.S. House 2, New York. Our revolution-backed candidate. That's great. Am I on New York? Let me see here. I'm looking at the. That's Colorado. That's another win for us. Yay.
Dana Balter. All right. Oh.
Britcoms are great. Yeah, Britcom. I've never. It's a beautiful term. Yes, they are, because they have much more in-depth plots, and they generally don't involve a lot of gratuitous sex and violence. So, yeah, I'm all in for the Britcoms. She goes up against Peter King. Thank you, William Valentine. Yeah. So
Peter King.
Is he?
She's my daughter's age. No, Liuba goes up against Peter King.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's great. That's 4 Bernie-crats so far. Thank you, Babs. Okay, we got 4? Great. A lot of progressives are winning tonight. Mm-hmm. This is what we expected. The worse it gets, the more progressives will win. The more people like Chuck and Nancy continue to say crap that we really don't want them to say, the more progressives will win. Right? And that's really where we're at. And you know, it's sad that we have to get this polarized, but it's also what needs to happen. More and more people that I talk to are of the, you know, it's going to get messier, it's going to get dirtier, it's going to get uglier, and hopefully when we're done, we'll all shake hands, clean up the mess, and get to work on rebuilding a nation for us, you know. But I'm excited by this. This
Yeah.
is
Here's even BuzzFeed News saying calling her a socialist. It's like, Jesus, people.
it's okay. You know, maybe we should run with it. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we should like encourage it. Absolutely. She is a socialist, and what the fuck is your problem with it?
Yeah.
We've tried hardcore capitalists for quite some time, and it's really sucked. I'm all about socialism because capitalism blows, right? And I actually think that maybe that's what's happening here. I mean, I'm sure they're probably all hit pieces, but younger generations don't have the fear of the S word, right? You know,
Yeah.
I grew up, you know, with that. Everybody, oh, socialism.
That's funny. Somebody commented, says, do we really want socialists in our Congress? And someone replied, fuck yeah.
Yes. Fuck yes. Yes. I'll take a socialist over a capitalist any day.
Any day.
Any day.
A non-bot person who actually has a platform.
Yes, Jupiter Judy.
No.
Socialism is roads, libraries, 911, fire department. Yes.
Yeah.
And cops. But yes.
Yeah.
Public schools. If you're a capitalist at this point, honestly, then you must be rich because there's not a lot of you left. I mean, seriously, if you're a capitalist, you're either donning a MAGA hat or you're one of the 1%. I mean, how many of you left? It's coming down to it. America's really, we've been called a developing nation, told that our democracy is effed by all these agencies that, you know, rank things. We're like worst in the world on all sorts of things at developing nations. I never thought I'd see our country fall backwards.
Yeah.
I'm not like proud. I'm like, holy crap, you know?
Crowley played Born to Run when he dedicated her and dedicated to Ocasio.
Wow. He's putting it on thick quick, isn't he?
Well, or what else does he have to do now? He's out of a job now.
Well, so there's a couple things. I mean, understand that he still has immense power. It's just going to be behind closed doors at this point. And
yeah,
Alexandria comes in with no power, and she's going to have to really fight hard to deal with that bullshit.
Well, he's a lame duck congressman now, and she can start. You know, that's something to work against. She doesn't have to run against an incumbent.
Yep.
Powerhouse.
Yep. We just knocked a bit. Number four. This dude was supposed to take over for Pelosi if she ever like stopped being a living zombie. I mean, you know, we just knocked off number 4 in the Democratic corporate establishment. Think about that. That's powerful. And we knocked off number 4 with a first-time runner, a socialist.
28 years old, my daughter's age.
Yeah. What a fucking badass. Hey, Barbara, wow, Crowley's being nice. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't.
He's got nothing else to do now.
It's weird. I really, really hope this pushes the governor's race, the mayor's race, the AG race, or DA race, whatever it is. There's a lot of progressive New York happening, right? Cynthia Nixon, and I forget Zephyr Teachout is running. And then there's one more. I can't think of what one more is. But yeah, you got that's awesome. I think it's badass. It's badass. What else? Any other updates? Let's see. We're just babbling on here. I don't know. I think it's a surprising night. Oklahoma. Were there any like big things we were looking for to happen in Oklahoma? Who is there? We've got a couple volunteers from Oklahoma. I always forget. It's whoever you are. Tell us. I know we have at least
Oklahoma?
one. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. I just always forget who the hell. You know, is it?
In Slack?
Who is it? Sherry Forrester. Are you in Oklahoma now? I think that's who it is. I think I saw a peep out of her about that. The media will use the word socialism as clickbait and it will be free marketing. Yes, Darcy, I agree. I think at this point we just run with it and push it and just grow. I agree. Talking about her again on MSNBC. Ben Jealous trending on Twitter. That's wonderful.
Sherry Forrester.
The Russian that set up the Trump Tower meeting has a video out. Interesting. So here's my thing on the whole. I just want to make a simple statement. Until we replace the power in our government, nobody's really going to be charged for. Nobody in power, nobody that actually has power is going anywhere. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
The Mueller investigation is going to do all sorts of things. It's going to uncover all sorts of stuff. It already has. And that's great. And it needs to, because there's all sorts of corruption. But no one really in power is going to get put away. It's all going to be a bunch of pawns that they knew were on the chopping block anyway. So it's a gigantic waste of a bunch of effort. But that's just me. Trump won't get impeached. None of Congress will go anywhere. Right? If they have to make a show of somebody important, they'll find somebody, they'll stick them in a club fed, and they'll take them out after a while.
Yeah, she is better inspiring this next wave of people, showing them how to do it. The example of a flawless campaign.
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah, about Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, is she going to be able to make big changes in Congress? You know, maybe not right away, of course. But,
well, if she uses the momentum that she has, like Bernie did, right? Because now all these groups and orgs are going to, all the good groups are going to get behind her and help push that power. So we'll see. I don't know. You're right. What kind of power she has? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know.
So Randy's asking if Connie Randy, can you check to see if Connie Johnson won in Oklahoma?
hang on. I can look it up. You just have to watch me.
Okay.
So go over here and I'm looking at Who was she? What was her? No, she didn't.
Connie Johnson in Hoke.
Democratic primary for governor. She actually had a decent, I would call it a decent showing if she was like the progressive, 38.4% here.
Oh.
Here. So so Drew, I don't know who the incumbent was here. I don't see that listed, but it looks like Drew Edmondson won and Connie Johnson 38.4%, which is not nothing, right? It's not a washout. So that's that race. Hi, all 58 of you. Welcome to the conversation. There's really not much. We're just kind of rehashing stuff and talking about the wins and kind of impressed and happy with the progressive results so far, right?
Yay.
If there's any other candidates you want to look at, districts, races that we think we need to talk about, let us know. I'm just kind of flipping through them. It's good to see. It would be nice to have a real scorecard of all of it. Do any of you out there know of one place that's actually collecting all of the progressive wins, or what we would loosely generally term progressive wins? Right? I don't know.
Besides us?
Huh?
Besides us.
Well, yeah, we don't really have one going. I saw a couple of sites that were trying to, but none of them were comprehensive.
Mm-hmm. I bet between Brand New Congress and Justice Democrats, we'll hear about it, especially now that there's some wins on the board.
I hope so. Yeah. Jason H., you want me to go over them again? Are you talking about the big wins? So to recap, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez kicked incumbent corrupt Dem Joe Crowley's ass in New York's 14th. Ben Jealous won the nomination for Maryland's governor, Democratic side of things. And what were the other ones? There's 4.
Emily Sirota is winning in Colorado last week.
Emily Sirota winning Colorado. And I know there's one other one. Oh, I can't pronounce her name. There was the Our Revolution-backed candidate, Lupita.
Yes.
Anyway.
Liuba.
Thank you. That's her name. Yes. She won.
Yes.
So those are 4. But there could be more. We're just not sure.
And Dana Balter, Our Revolution-backed Dana Balter wins U.S. House 24 in New York. So a lot happened in New York. New York is going to have to take over where California should have done this. So
yeah. Brahm says, are we watching the end of the DCCC and DNC establishment? Wouldn't that be amazing if this was a sign of the end? Could it be that they wasted all their political capital here in California? Maybe. I mean, they're broke.
They sure don't have the money to do much shenanigansing this time.
Right.
Have you noticed?
Right. Yeah. Let's count on that. Let's count on them being broke ass.
Mm-hmm.
And if we, it's like Americans, don't have the money. And if they do, it's going directly to people. And that's fantastic. Or directly to organizations that actually can actually do something. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I donate to ACLU because the lawyers seem to be kicking some serious ass these days. And we need a lot of them. with this administration. A lot of lawyers. I'm not a fan of lawyers, but I'm donating to those guys. But yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. The Democratic establishment is feeling the pain of war, right? And this is the fatigue of battle, and they're running out of resources. And our insurgent movement is gaining ground, and we battle.
The castle is being stormed.
Yeah. This is really like we waged through a really shitty 2017, and then started a really crappy 2018. And we've slogged through the shit, and now we've got some progressives that are kicking ass. We've had other wins. We're still at a better record than the Tea Party. You realize that, right? I don't know where the stat is now, but in 2010, the Tea Party was doing the same thing, insurging, taking over the GOP, pissing off a lot of incumbent GOP people, being annoying, being uncivil. I don't know if y'all remember, but they would show up at rallies and different places with guns and other shit, and they were dangerous and weird looking, and it was interesting. Today we're doing the same thing. We don't walk around with guns, but we're getting in the face of politicians causing a fuss as progressives, and oh my gosh, they're so upset, those same Tea Party people that forgot how they got there, right?
How rude.
How rude. Yes, we don't have the right decor. Goodness. So, anyway, we're doing better than they are. And the Democratic Party, in my opinion, is weaker, way weaker than the GOP was in 2010. Way weaker. It's just a fucking empty vessel. It's got no direction. Chuck and Nancy look like Republicans at this point. All right? They don't have the balls to back anything because they've been taking money from everybody, so they can't back anything. That's the problem, right?
And they can't get big bucks from the DNC.
No.
Nobody's donating.
Nobody's donating. The only place they can go back to, sadly, is the same money pits they had before. Clinton Foundation and all of her buddies, right? And Barack Obama's jumped in the game. I don't know if you're aware of that, but all of you who still think Barack Obama's a great guy, he's just a fucking Hillary Clinton. He's got a PAC. He's doing big speeches. He's courting fucking corporate donors and corporate candidates. He's in the game. Just a neoliberal piece of shit, like everybody fucking else in that game. You know? And I loved Obama. So I'm saying I bought into the stupidity too.
So did I.
Loved that great guy. Look at this guy.
Isn't he cool? Isn't he well spoken? Doesn't he speak eloquently about children and things we care about while he bombs them to, you know? Or things are bombed under his watch in his name. Exactly. I'm not saying that was his objective, but I think that that's what he bought into, to be that particular flavor of puppet for those years.
Oh my God! If they're so lucky that my mom isn't still alive. If my mom was still alive, she would have flown to DC, burned it down. She would have caused holy fucking hell.
The wrath of
she would have been so pissed because she canvassed for she donated a lot of money. She had money back then. She I think she maxed out. She really went all in for the Obama campaign. She was happy about him. She didn't live long enough to see Bernie announce. And I really, really wish she didn't like Hillary Clinton. She was like, I don't trust her. And this was way before, this is in 2014, right? And she never got a chance to see Bernie. I wish she had. Randy O, Rep. Jared Polis D, winning the Democratic nomination to run for governor. If he wins, he'll be the first openly gay man elected governor. I didn't know that. That's very cool.
That's cool.
That's cool. I'd love to get him on to talk actually about renewable energy. I don't care what his sexual preference is, but I can talk about renewable energy and see what his big plans are if he's trying to go that way, because Colorado is not about renewable energy. Colorado citizens are sort of about renewable energy, except that, and this is interesting. Anybody out in Colorado, you might want to, because I actually know the people that kind of invest in this, and I'm just going to stop there. The state of Colorado employees have investments in fossil fuels. I know some of the people that manage those investments, and I give them shit about it. But if you're in Colorado, just know that there's a lot of state investment making pension money for those employees that's all fossil fuel. And so you're going to have a lot of backing of the fossil fuel industry, and it's really strong there. And when I grew up in Colorado, it was a beautiful, beautiful place. Today, it's a fracked hellhole. The entirety of Weld County in that area is nothing but fucking wells, miles and miles and miles. It's a sad it's sad what they've done to beautiful Colorado, and it's going to be a tough battle for Jared and anybody trying to go 100% renewable in Colorado, because fucking shale and fracked gas is huge. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And Colorado's got this bizarre religious bent. It's really a weird, I think it's because of the military and Colorado Springs down there. It's weird. Anybody from Colorado with us right now? To hear from you. Excuse me.
So, we have Colorado peeps.
The DNC robbing Bernie crushed me. In retrospect, it ignited the movement. If Bernie won, we would have had a lame duck president with only... Yeah, exactly, Jason H. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. And it's, in a way, it's almost like Obama, right?
Yeah.
If Obama had been true to his word, that's what he was. He had no power, and we weren't there. I really think Obama wasn't true, but that's, you know.
I think Bernie's been able to do a lot more not being president to continue the progressive movement than he could have in the White House.
Agreed. And the just absolute corruptness of the Democratic Party and the discovery of that information. Thank you so much, WikiLeaks.
Yes.
Can we please get Julian Assange some, whatever you need, some country, let him go there, please? Could you imagine being stuck in one building for 6 years? Never outside. I would be batshit fucking insane.
Yeah. And now with no internet for like 2.5 months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would, yeah. It's unbelievable. We really got to get him out of there. Another reality winner pleaded guilty. She's going to spend 5 years in prison for something that was actually a patriotic right thing to do. And I'm not really sure of the whole story, but I saw WikiLeaks make a statement that The Intercept should quietly fire the people that outed reality winner because she was a source. And they did that. And it's really The Intercept's fault that poor girl is sitting in a jail cell for turning over information. So I agree with you. And The Intercept, shame on you. Yeah. Really. And the whole Hillary email cabal is never going to see anything. It's like. Yeah. Yeah. It is. I have mixed feelings about Assange. He seems pro-MAGA. Oh, absolutely not. God, no. No, he's anti-U.S. government. Yeah. He's anti-oligarchy, anti-fascism, and that includes both sides, all people on the table, really. Right. And that does not necessarily mean pro-MAGA. Those are not mutually. Yeah, yeah, I mean, he's true to what a journalist should be. He's anti-corruption, wherever it is, on both sides of the table. And the problem with that is there's people that we like, for a lot of reasons, that have done shit that's wrong. And, that's their job, is to call it out. It's what it is. But we have a what was it, the statement that was earlier, there was a trending yesterday or last night, was a crisis in our democracy, right? Which is true. We really do. And without journalists like Assange, justice, accountability are lost. Exactly. Just reading comments here. In Washington, we have a Green Dem governor, Jay. Well, that's not who is that? Jay Inslee? Proposing a toxic smelter in one of the poorest regions of the state. Timothy, where's this? Washington? Yeah, but what area? I'm just curious. Governor? Yeah. That's why I like the way Bernie's doing it. I know, William. One that you're talking about the progressive movement and others just running so many candidates against each other, and that's been a huge problem. I've been trying to make a call for unity. We've been doing weekly planning sessions. We'll have a second one tomorrow. Getting ready for Oregon 2020. We want all of the leadership in the Oregon progressive movement to join us in the roundtable that we'll do here. And we want everybody to join us in the audience. We want to make these decisions together and organize our shit for 2020. Because we don't need to be running people against each other. Everybody should be running in a race. There were so many uncontested races this time. That shouldn't happen, right? And my favorite example is Eric Burnett and Jim Curry in CD2. Okay? Neither one really had a chance against Jamie McLeod Skinner. Okay. And Jamie McLeod Skinner is one of these weird half in the middle progressive sort of, not really sure. Got to talk to her so I feel more comfortable about where she sits in the progressive bent. All right. But Jim and or Eric Burnett could have run for 2 other roles and won. Or one of them could have run for another role, and we could have given Jamie McLeod Skinner a good run for her money. But that didn't happen. Right? We're not gonna retake our democracy if we have progressive organizations fighting each other for roles that we can barely win in the first place, and we're not gonna win when we divide them, right? And so instead of getting all up in each other's pants about who gets to pick this person or our person is better than your person, we need to start now, lay out the battlefield, identify the targets, find our troops, our champions, our candidates. Train them to do the work. We did this all wrong last time. We went out looking for, are you worthy to be our candidate? No, you're not. It's like, no, you bring these people in and you nurture them and you help them be the candidate you want them to be, right? Otherwise, why would people want to run, right? It's like, hi, you're going to interrogate me and then tell me I suck? Okay, yeah, I'm ready for that. So we have to actually train our candidates, provide them resources, and do the work. So I'm hoping that everybody in Oregon will, in the progressive movement, will join us on Wednesdays. Tomorrow is going to be at 8 p.m. And the reason I'm talking about that is because I'm working on a project with Justin Bryce, who's the guy who got me involved down here with the Democratic Party. We're going to build a map of the Oregon election for 2020 that is going to be based in GIS layers, and we'll be able to peel back layers to look, start here, dive down from the county down to all the races. And we will be able to slot our candidates, list the incumbents, and then allocate and plan resources so that everybody's not just operating fucking pissing in the wind, where we're actually coordinating what we need to be doing to make our candidates successful for 2020. Mm-hmm. And so I just, please, we all need to get together and do that. And that needs to be done in every state with the progressive organizations. Stop operating like silos. Put your egos in check. Pull your heads out of your ass. Call each other on the phone. Have a Zoom meeting and decide together which candidates run where, and don't compete against each other. There's no reason to do that. Every candidate has a race to go to. And your candidate may be like, well, I didn't want to run for that. I want to run for this. It doesn't fucking matter right now. We need butts and seats.
Yeah. I think Gail's going to be really instrumental in doing that in California.
I hope to God so. But we need to create that engine for our candidates so that they come out champions and not going, Jesus, that sucked. Mm-hmm. And it's anyway, that's what we need to do. I'm excited about that because I think we're going to make that happen. I really am. Yeah. Any other good news, Laura? Any other stuff?
Nice endorsement or congratulations from Bernie Sanders to Alexandria. Congratulations to Ocasio 2018 on her extraordinary upset victory tonight. She took on the entire local Democratic establishment in her district and won a very strong victory. She demonstrated once again that progressive grassroots politics can do. And then right below that, Howie Klein mentions that only one member of Congress, Ro Khanna, took Alexandria seriously enough to endorse her. Although it was a dual endorsement. I think he endorsed Crowley also, which I'll still never understand that. And not one congresswoman did the right thing for her.
Yeah.
And she said, let's hope they learn. And where was Emily's list and all this? So good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. That's a great question. Thank you, Move On, for grabbing on really, really late in the game. But thank you. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's a tough question for all those larger orgs. Where were you? Yeah. Where were you? What side are you really on, dudes? So Timothy Anderson, Hillary gave us Trump. Absolutely.
Well, this is nice. I like this. This is to get the crowd to quiet down at Ocasio's victory party. The speaker is yelling, "Mic check," and the crowd is yelling back, "Mic check." And this, for you kids, this is from Occupy.
Yeah.
Occupy is coming to Congress.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's true. Mic check. Nice. That's awesome. It's awesome. What do we got here? Shirley Vick, Timothy Anderson, the whole Democratic Party, along with Obama, gave us Trump. Yes, agreed. We are in a far here. Nuke, let me. So you say we're in a far worse place with Trump fascism than with HRC. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
So we are definitely in what feels like a horrible place right now, and there's definitely a lot of horrible things going on.
But it's all on the surface, and we are watching it and can see it.
Thank you.
With Hillary, it would have been.
Yep.
Business as usual.
Yep. We wouldn't have an insurgent, a progressive movement right now functioning if HRC had been our president, because things would have gone back to business as normal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We would have continued fracking. We would have continued bombing all the nations we're bombing. Yemen would still be the fucking problem it is. Immigration would have been the same as it was under Obama. Maybe a little more hawkish. Who knows? Right? Mm-hmm. And it's not like it was good under Obama. Okay, we hadn't solved that problem. He kept pushing it off and pushing it off, right? Because there were no Democrats with the balls to make anything happen. And the Republicans were like, we control everything now. So, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been in war with Russia. That's likely.
The good news is, okay, I was getting around to the good news.
Off with Trump. It's different. I'm talking to K-Nuke. It's not that we're better. Nothing is better. But I'd rather have people fired up by the blatancy of all this than lulled to sleep by, someone who owns the media completely and has all the money in the world at her beck and call to do whatever she wants behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing is better about him. Let's be clear. We're not happy about what he's doing. But
right. North Korean would get Burger King under HRC. There you go.
Yeah.
HRC wouldn't get a Burger King. Wouldn't get a Burger King, North Korea. Yeah, I mean, everything Laura Livengood just said. Look, the good news is that more Americans are awake and active in their democracy than would have been had HRC won. Yeah. Think of the entire HRC contingency that would have gone back to sleep and drank a latte after she won, right? Mm-hmm. And now everything's fine. We have centrists again. Another 4 years.
But now they're putting on, even if they're putting on pink hats, at least they aren't, they're against what's going on rather than going, lying down to sleep about it.
Yep.
So
our government was on the way to this. Trump was a catalyst that accelerated the process.
Yeah.
Our government had become fascist decades ago. When you have a government that has continued to do nothing but increase its war machine while deplete every other resource we have at the fucking the people, that's fascism. It's just the form of a large group of people doing it. 1% of them, right? I mean, it's nice that it's, as Laura Livengood said, it's overt, it's out there, it's blatant, it's in our faces, and it's ugly, and it's uncomfortable, right? And I'd rather know. Wouldn't you rather be aware?
Yeah.
Prior to Bernie, Laura Livengood, did you have, were you like, man, our government's terrible? Or were you like, well, it's the United States and
no, I was very asleep about it.
Me too.
I even thought when she was going through the Benghazi hearings that Hillary Clinton was kind of a little bit of a smart ass badass. And that's about as, and I never liked her. But I still had fond memories of when Bill Clinton was in office. I had to, hear about all the things that went on that we've learned in the last couple of years, and it's been a big wake up.
Yep, absolutely.
Not going back to that.
And now I want to just go back to my dad when he was telling me how bad Bill Clinton was. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Blah blah. I'd be like, "Okay, you're right. You're right." He knew. My dad knew back then. Mm-hmm. I gave him so much. My dad voted for Bush in 2000 because he hated the Clintons so much. And he was a lifelong Democrat. But that he was so aware of the cronyism of the Clinton family that he said, nope. And he regretted that decision right away. But, just saying. I'm thoroughly convinced that some prefer to remain asleep. Yes. I long to go back there.
Mm-hmm. The blue pill is a tempting thing.
I fucking wish I could. I miss naivety. I miss ignorance. I miss waking up.
Bliss.
What?
It was bliss.
Yeah. I miss thinking that my country is the greatest country in the world and that we do no wrong and that we're great people. It's been decades since I thought that, but that was like my original naivety. Right?
Yeah.
I miss thinking that we could fix it with some good old democracy. Now I know we have a lot of work to do to reinstate a good old democracy, you know. So it's all right. It's more work.
I miss the hope I felt when Obama got elected.
Yeah.
That was, you know, at his inauguration, and I was just, you know,
so much hope, so little change.
Yeah.
You know, so much hope, so little change. My thing was, I told my mom back then, it's like, Obama's going to legalize pot. You watch. He's that cool. And, well, anyway. That didn't happen. We got anything else to report? It's like 8:30.
No, you know, we're at 90 minutes.
You guys are just listening to us babble. We're not really talking about
Yes.
Thank you.
No, they're babbling with us.
They know. It's nice to have you all here. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I just hit a 12-hour day, so I might be.
Well, all right. We should just have everybody pick a song. I got some songs up here. You can pick one to go out with, and we'll, you know, join us tomorrow 8 p.m. for the if you can, for the Oregon planning session. I know a lot of you aren't in Oregon, but the way we're going to organize things and do things you might find interesting is hang out with us anyway. It's really for all of Oregon to get together, and I really don't know how many people are actually going to be from Oregon. Our list, our subscribed list in Action Network only says we have 14 people from the state of Oregon out of like 150. So,
oh dear.
We're an international organization on our little tiny email list.
We are.
So
okay, what are the songs?
Oh, so the songs are "Come Together," the Across the Universe version by I can't think of his name now. Jeez, Joe Cocker, which is a really good version.
Ooh, okay.
"The Fire Is Ours," McConnell, because I always have that loaded.
Okay.
Bernie Sanders' "Religion," which is too passive for right now.
Yeah, no.
"Love," Everybody's Gotta Live, Arthur Lee's "Love." Everybody's Got to Live. And Gil Scott-Heron's "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." I just grabbed some old standards. If you guys want to suggest, or we can grab some.
You guys can't bring in new ones. Those are the 4 we've got loaded up. So choose one of those.
I think I can do Tracy Chapman talking about a revolution. I have that on my list. The problem is that they've been shutting down. I don't know if you're aware of this, but YouTube has gone through and really purged a lot of political content, a lot of mainstream songs that are politically motivated or politically engaging, are now being marked as unable to be played. I've been doing this for 3-4 years now, picking songs off YouTube and playing them, and the list continues to get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
People keep adding different ones. Look, the 4 that he just said, Joe Cocker, 3 that he just said, McConnell.
End of the corporate age. I always do that.
Well, Gil Scott-Heron. That's yeah.
We haven't heard that one in a while. I think we should do that one. It's a great song.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Gil Scott.
Just remember, everybody, and this is going to be frightening, okay? There's TYT. There's Democracy Now! There's a handful of small entities and us. And that, that incorporate, there's your progressive media. That's it. And TYT, probably being the biggest draw, is like a BB hitting the ass of an ox. Okay, in terms of reach. Right? No offense, TYT. I'm just saying, we're like a flea on the BB. Right? So we need your support. That's where this is going. I'm just practicing to be a corporate dem, dialing for dollars. We need your support here. Donate.uphillmedia.org, or if you're interested in volunteering and helping us, we'd love to do more, cover more states. We're going to be doing more rallies, live stream events. Now that we have the solo, I've got all of the servers back up to full power, and I can bring 5 people in plus myself into a conversation. We're ready to rock and roll because you guys have been donating, and we've been buying stuff and putting it all together. Larry spent all the money. He doesn't even have any to pay me. Guess I'm going to hear about that on Saturday. And so please donate some extra bucks if you have it. But really, if you only have $5 to donate, don't give it to us. Give it to a candidate that's progressive, that you want to see win, that's running in a race. All right. But
we must fund our own.
yes, we must fund our own, sadly. And then we'll get rid of the funding. But we got to fund our own first. So YouTube is getting dictatorial. I mean, you know who owns YouTube? It's all the corporations that, you know, raise the big advertising dollars. That's what it's driven by. Right. So, yeah. Even bought Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie's got a hat now. We got to keep him.
Excuse me. So that's my my farmer hat. That's what I do work in the yard with. And when it's not on me, it's on Bernie. It's my hat holder. You know.
Well, don't get him all sweaty.
What?
It's cardboard.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. There's already dirt on his shirt.
Oh no!
Already been out during work. So.
Well, if Bernie were here, he'd be helping you in the garden.
No, he wouldn't. I would be sitting him down in a chair and saying, "No, you're not. No, you're not." But if he wanted to, of course. Anyway.
Yes.
Kelly Lane's What are we talking about? Kelly Lane's.
People are guys. You can't bring in new songs. We only had 3 to choose from. Very nice though that you're bringing.
I tell you what though, I'd love to be able to play more music, but it takes time to check and make sure that it's okay. And so anybody that wants to help us. We really do have a very small group of dedicated volunteers to do the work, and it's why we are so limited in what we do. If I had more people, if I had people from other states, you know, when we were rocking and rolling in the beginning, we had like 100 people. Just so you understand, we had like 100 people in the chat, all working in different groups so that we could function nationally, right? And now I think we have less than 20 that are active within our organization. Okay, so I just want you to understand that anybody who wants to get involved, if you want to support your state or your organization, that's what we do. We'll build you a show. That's what this is for, right? But I need a couple people from your state or your area that are willing to do it, and then we can do more, right? You guys know that. I bitch about this all the time. Shut up. Shut up, John. Shut up. Shut up. Who's Pat Paulson?
Oh, he was a longtime comedian. He was really sweet, and he ran for president during the late, all the way through, to 96.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember. All right, I didn't even get the song pulled up. I'm such a terrible producer.
Trying to host and produce at the same time.
Man, for a while there, I'd made it a goal of myself to like become really good at this, and then I said, "Fuck that." Just gonna be good at making sure the shots show up.
Easy. You make it look easy.
Oh, thanks. All right, here it is. Thank you everybody for joining us.
Yes. Yay.
Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Yay. Yes, yay. We got lots of wins. And we need to push on that. Laura, do you want to have any parting words of wisdom for our...
No, just savor it now, you guys. This is, it's rare but sweet. So the progressive victory. And I'm so happy for Alex. She was one of the first people we interviewed last year, and this is really exciting. Yeah.
Timbuktu, are we winning? We've won a number of races, yes. Some really key ones. The big one being Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez winning in New York's 14th. Right, that's huge.
And Ben Jealous winning to go on to Maryland governor.
Yeah, I really hope that would be great to get him in there for that. Yeah. So we're all we-nets. What are you talking about? Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. All right, get out of here. Just get out of here. Tomorrow, join us.
Night, everybody.
Yeah, I'll put it on.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.